it comes to Ukraine and Russia, as the war has continued since February 24th, now there's news that Finland and Sweden are seeking NATO membership. This is something that Vladimir Putin of Russia is saying is a mistake. Essentially, Finland shares a 1,300 kilometer border with Russia, and since they've seen what's happened in the last 2.5 months, essentially with Moscow calling the attacks and the war in Ukraine as a special military operation, and to be able to overtake neo-Nazis is what Moscow has called it so far. Finland and Sweden, who had decided to be neutral and not join NATO since Second World War, have now changed their mind as they fear for their future when they see the devastation that has occurred in Ukraine. Essentially now 5 million refugees are of Ukrainian origin are now spread throughout the world, and mostly in the neighboring country of Poland. About 8 million are displaced throughout Ukraine. As you see, many cities have been devastated, where infrastructure has been destroyed, from homes to schools to community centers, other historic architecture, all of it has been destroyed. And Mariupol has been under siege for quite some time as the Russian forces have been focusing on the eastern region of Ukraine. Now, Putin has said that the support for NATO is going to be troubling for Finland, even though there's a recent poll where on the referendum, 75% said that they will support Finland. They will support Finland going into NATO. These are Finnish people, as well as in Sweden, about 50 to 60% of residents in Sweden want to join NATO. So this is a big movement, and NATO is looking at processing this membership a lot quicker than it usually would, due to the escalation of violence that they've seen in Ukraine that is not ending. Essentially, it's escalating. Turkey, which is a NATO member, has shown dissatisfaction for the Finnish and Swedish memberships, essentially saying that, which requires unanimous approval by alliance members, so they've taken a stance on it. And Turkey, even though they have been holding peace talk agreements between the two delegates of the countries Ukraine and Russia earlier on in the war, but have always been siding, and many would call, with Russia, since they have not essentially pointed out any sanctions against Russia since the invasion has begun and the atrocities continue.